The Community Mental Health Authority of Clinton, Eaton, and Ingham Counties is holding its annual community event coming up. We have Kevin Fisher, the keynote speaker, joining us today on Mid-Michigan Matters. Kevin, what messages will you be highlighting during this event?
The theme of this year's event is Hope Starts Here, because mental health is a community problem, not an individual. And so this allows us to make sure that the community is engaged with all of the resources that are available and the supports that people who live with mental illness need.
When you say that community is a really important aspect, especially when it ties into mental health, what do you mean by that?
There's such a stigma associated with mental illness. You know, more people are diagnosed, for example, with mental illness annually than heart disease, diabetes, and cancer combined. We're comfortable talking about those illnesses, but not mental illness, because mental illness carries the stigma of shame like it's a choice, and it's not. So the more we can dismantle that stigma and help people understand that mental illness is a medical diagnosis, not a choice, and that there are resources in the community like what Clinton, Ingham, and Eaton County provide, the better we can provide treatment to those who need it the most.
And right now you're wearing a shirt that says everybody versus the stigma. Can you explain how you might be able to reframe the mental health stigma and what you would learn during this event to do that?
We want to normalize the conversation about mental health. It's really that simple. We need to destigmatize mental illness by talking about it more, because that way we encourage the people who need help to seek that help and not feel ashamed to get that. And we recognize that stigma is the leading barrier to the early diagnosis and treatment that lead to the best outcomes for everyone.
It's not normalizing necessarily the mental health or the mental illness that one's going through, but it's normalizing that conversation that not just one person's going through it. It could be the whole community struggling, but coming together to help one another.
More than 80 million Americans live with mental illness every year. It is a huge part of our population, and so it's something that we need to make sure, again, that people don't feel abnormal seeking help. And so that's really the essence of this year's conference, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. Registration is still open. I think we're expecting more than 400 participants, so we're really excited about it. And you know, we will have everyone from across the community. So it's not just people who live with mental illness, it's not just the behavioral health care professionals, but it's law enforcement, faith leaders, the community wrapping its arms around people who live with mental illness and making sure they know that we are not alone.
Now the event begins at 9 in the morning on Monday, March 23rd. You can check out the information on your screen to figure out how you can attend and learn more. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.